everyone, welcome to our channel Ankuram Edutainment. So here we are with the second part of company valuation. In the first part, we learned all the theoretical concepts related to this topic. Now in the second part, I would be explaining all the technical tools that you need when valuing a company. But before that, if you have not yet subscribed for our channel, then subscribe for it. And if you have not watched the first part of company valuation, then please watch it so that you can easily understand the concepts explained in part 2. First, we begin with the calculation of unlevered free cash flows. As we learned in the previous video that company's value is a function of its future cash flows, here we will be learning how these cash flows can be calculated in practice. So for that, first we require is NOPAT, that is net operating profit after taxes, which is calculated as revenues minus cost of goods sold, that is COGS, minus operating expenses, minus depreciation and amortization, which will give us earnings before interest and taxes. And after deducting operating taxes from EBIT, we will get NOPAT. Since our goal is to calculate company's unlevered cash flows, we do not adjust interest expenses because unlevered cash flow does not depend on financial structure of any firm. So now that we have NOPAT, let us calculate free cash flows. For that, we need to add back depreciation and amortization because these are the non-cash expenses, and the reason we are subtracting it once and then adding it back is because depreciation and amortization is a tax deductible cost. Hence, it needs to be adjusted from taxes. Then we need to adjust change in working capital, where we will be dealing with three components. They are trade receivables, inventories, and trade payables. Then again we need to adjust with capital expenditure, which is an expense incurred by a company to replace old plant and machinery with the new one. And finally, we have to adjust with other operating assets and liabilities, which will give us unlevered free cash flows. Now imagine a situation where two companies are having equal amount of cash flows. In that case, how are you going to value such company? If you look at the two graph, company A is earning more in initial period and company B is earning more in the later period. But the sum of cash flows is same, that is rupees 134 million. So now how are you going to value such companies? That is why here another principle of finance is introduced, that is time value of money, which is based on a concept that a rupee earned today is more valuable than rupee earned tomorrow. The reason is the rupee that is earned today, you can invest it and earn interest from it. That is why company A is more valuable than company B, because the cash flows produced by company A today is more valuable than the cash flows produced by the same company in the next year or in the time frame of 10 years. To account for this concept, an extra instrument is required, that is discount factor. This factor will help us to calculate the present value of the cash flows which the company is expected to produce in the future. Now the question arises is, what discount factor should a valuer use? Whether it should be cost of equity, cost of debt, or an average between both. The answer is, if the cash flow is available only to equity holders, then we must use cost of equity. But if the cash flow is available to both equity and debt holders, then we must use weighted average cost of capital, which is a blend of cost of equity and cost of debt. So let us look at the formula of weighted average cost of capital, which is also known as WACC. WACC is equal to cost of equity into percentage of equity plus cost of debt into percentage of debt into 1 minus tax rate. Here percentage of equity and percentage of debt is nothing but the proportion of equity and debt in total capital employed. And 1 minus tax rate is another factor in cost of debt which takes into consideration that interest expenses are tax deductible. Now WACC is a very important concept to remember so that you can calculate discount factor. So what is the process to calculate cost of debt and cost of equity? Cost of debt is easily available in company's balance sheet and income statement. Let me explain you how. The firm's balance sheet will contain certain financial liabilities, both short-term and long-term liabilities, and the sum of these two will give us the total amount of debt the company has. And the interest expenses reported on the income statement are the cost being paid to use these funds. Therefore, cost of debt is nothing but interest expenses divided by financial liabilities. Cost of equity can be calculated using various methods. But here I will be explaining you a method which is used by most of the practitioners in investment banking. It is called Capital Asset Pricing Model, also known as CAPM. Now this model suggests that cost of equity is equal to risk-free rate plus beta multiplied by market risk premium. Let me explain you all these components. Risk-free rate is a rate in an economy where there is zero default risk. which means there is a certainty among investors that they will be repaid full amount on time. Now this can be available on internet. You can use yield of 10-year government bond as a risk-free rate. Next component we have is beta. Beta is a measure which shows how a security behaves compared to the rest of the market. This measure also can be either calculated or it can be found on various websites like Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, etc. The last component we have is market risk premium, which is the difference between return of market and risk-free rate. It suggests the additional return an investor will receive from holding a risky security instead of risk-free assets. Now that we have cost of debt as well as cost of equity, we can find WACC, which serves as a discounting factor in valuation process. So with this, we come to an end of part 2. I hope every concept explained in this video was a value addition for you all. If yes, then please like, share, comment and subscribe. I will be explaining some more technical tools in the third part, so stay tuned. Thank you.